you are the leader, press the star now. There is one other participant in this conference. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Sergio. Is that you?
Yes.
Hi, it's Sherry Levine.
Hi, Sherry.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you today?
I'm okay. Has Jen Geyser also joined?
I think me and you are the only ones on the call at the
Oh.
moment.
I would have to say no. Jen is our head of communications, and it's important that we both sort of hear what it is that you want to talk about. I was so surprised and so saddened that there is actually something that has happened that made you uncomfortable. Let me say that.
Yeah. Just it's just been not the
Hi,
best
Jen.
experience.
Hey, Jen. Sergio and I are on the call. We were just starting to talk. So, Sergio, what happened that made you feel uncomfortable?
Well, so I originally went on Project Runway to to talk about social issues each episode, using clothing as a vehicle to talk about the things that we're actually encountering a lot right now with race, a lot of people's human rights, and for some reason, everything that I spoke about on the show was turned into something really gross, and they used the judges and their platforms against what I was speaking of in a really gross way, and it's affected not only my business but just the way I pretty much have to rebuild my entire business, and I had an amazing business going into Project Runway, and just the really gross things that the judges would say that had nothing to do with clothing. I don't know, it affected me in a really life-changing way. I asked multiple times if I could have help with the death threats that I was getting.
Who did you ask help from?
I emailed Mary, Nan, and the other woman that's involved with the show multiple times. They just ignored me by the end of it, and they told me that things would get better, and it just got completely worse. One of the judges shared on her social media on Martin Luther King Day, pretty much stating that I was racist when I was talking about marginal tax rates. They all knew what I was speaking about because they reiterated questions multiple times, and whoever decided to pretty much destroy me from the production company, it's really gross, honestly. And you can speak, you have the tapes, y'all own the tapes, and you can speak to their contestants of how differently I was treated in terms of editing from every other person.
I want to go back to a couple things. So, Mary is someone from the production company, I'm assuming?
Correct.
Okay, we weren't told about that, so my apologies. Let me find out about that. And then what judge posted something that
Elaine Walteroff posted something about me being racist, and then they used one episode I was talking about the children that had passed away at the border because I'm a Mexican American, and that's something that was so close to me. The guest judge told me that I should not be talking about depressing things when it comes to fashion, and then Nina Garcia went out of her way saying that I was inauthentic about the way I felt about these children at the border. So every single episode, like, it was just attack towards not only my character, my company. Like, I was doing close to $300,000 worth of business before going on to Project Runway, and now I can't even pay my rent. So I can show you numbers. I can even show you how this has affected. I mean, if you go on Reddit, the things that people said and did, and I'm constantly attacked. And when the Black Lives Matter movement came out, they coordinated attacks against me, and these are communities that I stand up every single day to protect, and it's just gross that they turned something that could have been something amazing, that is what people are talking about right now. They turned it into a lot of really gross situations and just tried to defame me the entire process of the show. When the one thing they said, hey, this show is about designing, and everything that happens, we just show it as it is. But they literally manipulated it to a point of it not even, it wasn't even a tenth of what actually happened. That's how bad it was.
And just so I'm clear, when Black Lives Matter happened, you said they coordinated attacks against me. Who is they?
The people on Reddit.
So okay.
Yeah.
This is not anybody on the show.
No, this is not, but those stem from the judges using their platforms to pretty much just attack me constantly. And even one episode I was speaking about growing up in poverty, where my family had to go, we had to dig in dumpsters for clothes and different things, and the judge just answered it with saying, it looks like you got your outfit out of the dumpster. Like, it's just really gross things that happened that y'all should look into, and that I'm just surprised that honestly, just the entire situation, honestly.
And have you, did you,
I've asked them multiple times, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? And they said, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to go away. After the show, we can help you fix it. And the only thing they provided was an article on BravoTV.com of what my tuxedo represented, but it didn't fix the problem. That the damage already had been done, and nobody. It was just a terrible situation, honestly.
and you keep saying that they, I just want to make sure we have who that they are. It's the production company, the producers
Well,
you're in touch with?
yes, the producers, I asked them multiple times, and the worst of it happened when I was at the finals. Because I was in the final, I wasn't aware of the episodes that were going on while I was there, and that's when everything ramped up to like the worst place. Because when I got back, literally, I was just getting death threats left and right, and they wouldn't help me.
You were getting death threats where? On social media?
On social media, and people started recognizing me on the street because I live in New York City. Well, I did live in New York City, and I was always afraid if it was a person that actually thought that was me in reality, that I would have physical harm. So I didn't go out of my apartment.
There were so many times when they really praised a lot of your looks. You won challenges. You were in the finals, and I saw your collection. I thought it was beautiful. In fact, there was one look in particular which I just thought was mesmerizing. The cascading blue. I'm not going to be able to properly describe it. But I thought that came across really strongly, and your looks came across really well.
Well, yeah, it was never about the clothing. Like, I've been doing this for a very long time, and it was all the external things, and some of the stuff maybe the production people weren't aware of, but definitely the judges were used as props to push the narrative of the show, and literally most of anything that came out of my mouth was manipulated to a point where it was ridiculous. And I was urged a million times, yeah, this is a show about the clothes, we're only going to show what happened, and that was not the case ever. I spoke about a social issue each and every episode, and if you look at the way other people were edited, it was very different. I was the only person in that entire season that was manipulated to that point. And you can talk to the other contestants. They were there. And I mean, everybody was there. Whoever was part of the production was there. But it came to a point, and now, like, I honestly, I didn't know who I could turn to for help. And it's damaged my business to an immense place.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Sergio. I think you're a beautiful designer, and your clothing, speaks for itself. And, I have clear memories of you talking about the different issues that were important to you. And I know that there were a couple of times when the judges said, we need to focus more on the clothes and less about the issues. But it had never felt that it was disrespectful in terms of what you were saying, how you were saying what you were saying, and I'm just so sorry that you're at this place now and had to sort of go through all of that. Your business has not come back to what it was. You were doing a lot of individual specific orders, particularly on gowns for people. Has that not rebounded?
Well, it was even before COVID, because we do have to, in essence, work for free for an entire year. That took its toll. So I wasn't in a resilient place to when coming out of the competition, not having the time or the means to be able to make money, and then COVID hits, and now it's just like it's decimated. So and that has the COVID's not anything to do with the show.
With that. I think all designers, and very well-known designers are feeling the same sort of pinch right now. COVID has really been super hard, particularly on the fashion industry.
Yeah, no, and I clearly see that. But I mean, if you just even look comparative to social media, because social media is a thing that you can have analytics for. I literally have maybe gained 2,000 followers throughout the process, where the other contestants gained 20, 30, like huge amounts. So that, in essence, says how people viewed me on the show. And like the episode, the Tuxedo Challenge, I was talking about marginal tax rate, and they said I wanted to turn the country back into 1950s, having the black judge say that black people and women and LGBTQ people didn't have rights at that time, which common sense that, yes, correct, the tuxedo was backwards to say that this administration was taking us back on social issues, but how you would fix that was reallocating the marginal tax rate in our country. And somehow they cut every single thing out. They didn't say that tuxedo was backwards because of social issues. And that was the thing that they showed while I was at the finals, to come back from that, to be, I mean, the whole season was terrible for me personally in terms of the editing, and I'm sorry, but none of it was true. Zero.
Right. Well, I am really sorry that has happened, and that's your hammering. Yeah, I mean, it's never supposed to be that. It is a competition. A lot of footage is shot. I mean, they are shooting all the time. Choices are made because obviously the episode is a synthesis of what's happened, and it's a cut down, and choices are made. I don't think anybody intentionally made a choice to make you look a certain way. They certainly did have to choose how to represent what you were saying in a short amount of time. They do that with everybody. It's just part of the process. And it's never intentional to show somebody in a particular light. And often people, you see people in different lights as they go through the competition, and people have highs and lows, and usually the episodes reflect that. Let me go back and talk with the production company. I particularly want to find out about you having sort of reached out to them and saying that you were having a tough time with it and what happened, because normally we would know about that, and I'm sorry that you didn't reach out to us, because it's important that we know that. And we need to look into what you've just been saying.
Yeah. Well, and just honestly, please just talk to their contestants, because they multiple times said, "Why are you treating Sergio like this?" Like, it's not. I'm not making this up. This is what, and I know you have to go talk to the production people, but also talk to people that were there that are not in that circle, because I feel like you're gonna get a very PG answer and not what actually happened.
No, for sure. I know that, but we will do that. We'll do everything we can to look into the situation as you explained it. And again, we're hearing this for the first time, so let us, see what we can discover here. And we really appreciate your openness and honesty with us and coming to us. And sorry that we didn't, you weren't able to get to us sooner, that we didn't know about this, but we will certainly, look into it for us and for you.
Thank you. Honestly, I appreciate it. I just felt like I was just tossed to the side, honestly, and I felt like I gave Project Runway everything I had.
It's very difficult when when you go on these shows and social media. Obviously we can't control social media and how people react and respond, and it is a very difficult, when social media starts like that. So
no,
again,
I understand. But like sharing that specific clip on Martin Luther King Day from your African American judge, that's very calculated. That's not like, and Nina Garcia sharing different things on her platforms about me. Even the last interview they did on Bravo, she said, yeah, Sergio's very inauthentic in feeling or talking about these social issues. So there's something definitely calculated about this. I'm not like, and I understand this is the first time you're hearing, I'm so grateful, but I want to stress that this is not like, I'm not making any of this up. It was super calculated. I can show you exactly where all of these different things happened. And yes, you cannot control how social media reacts to things, but y'all work with those people that are the judges. And so it's a coordinated effort when you're pushing an episode and you're leading with like a racist topic about the episode, or it's calculated. And if you can talk to Nancy and Jeffrey, they're very aware of what happened, and they got amazing edits. I don't know. I just feel. I mean, this is a lot of trauma, honestly.
Well, again, let us, do our best, to follow up on all of this. And again, appreciate it. And I know it's difficult times right now in general, so, we'll get back to you. And, thanks again for really opening up and sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you, Sergio. We'll set up another call.
Okay. Thank
later.
you. Y'all have a wonderful week, okay?
And you too.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.